Hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez, and this is RT America. I want to tell you about a meeting that took place at the White House right after 9/11. We had just been attacked, as you might recall, and all the big names were there at that meeting. President Bush was there, and Cheney, and Rumsfeld, and Clark, and Condoleezza Rice, of course, etc., all trying to decide what are we going to do as a country. Who do we attack, and how? Those are the questions that were being discussed at that meeting. Now, the obvious choice was Afghanistan, right? That was, after all, where the Taliban was and where al-Qaeda was, and Osama bin Laden was pretty much camped out there, even though he was really a Saudi. But there was a problem. Afghanistan didn't really have an army to speak of. It didn't really have military bases to speak of. It didn't really have an air force to speak of, and no military airports to speak of, no real communication centers, right? So who or what were we really declaring war against? In that meeting, the one that Richard Clark writes about in the book that he wrote in 2004, Donald Rumsfeld said the following: "We need to bomb Iraq." That's what he said. We need to bomb Iraq. Most people in that room, in that meeting at the time, probably looked at themselves and said, what? We're talking about al-Qaeda, we're talking about Osama bin Laden, we're talking about Afghanistan, we're talking about the Taliban, and why are you talking about Iraq here, right? This is what Richard Clark wrote in his book. He was there, he was in this meeting, right? Quote, this is the response from Donald Rumsfeld, quote, "There aren't any good targets in Afghanistan, and there are a lot of targets in Iraq." So think about this for a minute. In late 2001, we determined that there were no good targets in Afghanistan, that a war there would be no contest, probably done in a matter of weeks, because to hear him say it, it sounds like they were saying there was nothing to attack. So we took Kabul in relatively no time. And then we moved on to Iraq, right? You remember? Well, here's what's so curious about this now. And here's the reason I wanted to present this story to you in this way tonight. We have just learned that this year we have dropped more bombs in Afghanistan than ever before, than any other year in the history of this war. Think about that. Under President Obama, we set a record in 2010, dropping 5,100 bombs. So far this year, under President Obama, we broke that record by dropping already, just since January of this year, more than 5,200 bombs. 5,100, 5,200, and counting. Now think about that. In 2001, we concluded Afghanistan is not target rich. Nothing to hit. Not enough targets. 17 years later, not only are we still at war, but we're dropping more bombs than ever before. I'm Rick Sanchez. This is RT America, and it is time to do news again.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.